Hello, this is Fenya, and welcome to my podcast. Today, the first time with video. I feel a little bit shy about this, so I'm not sure how long this video will be. I feel a bit nervous to forget things that I want to say, things that I want to talk about, because, yeah, I don't want to cut this video. I just want to have it smooth. I thought I'm just gonna show you a little bit where I am, how it looks here, first of all. So I drove yesterday with a driver in a car with my mum and her partner up to Lovina from Ubud. So Ubud lays sort of like south center of Bali, and Lovina is right up in the north in the middle. So I'm right here at the beach. Sorry if I'm looking over there. This is where the beach is, and also I have amazing view. I'm gonna show you in a minute. And because we were three people, we took the car. Otherwise, I think I would have asked for someone to pick me up with the scooter. I really love sitting at the back of the scooter. I have never driven a scooter or a motorbike myself, so I would like to learn it, but I'm not sure if it would be smart to learn it here. The traffic is special. It's good because although there are not many rules, I feel like people have a good awareness and a good understanding that anybody at any point can move almost like a wave in and out of traffic, and no one is getting angry. Although there's so much traffic, I think in the West we would have already like lost our patience completely. And yeah, just sitting at the back of a scooter just makes me feel really relaxed because I have to give up my responsibility. And nature here is just incredible. So driving through Bali is an experience by itself. So if you come here, don't just go to Ubud. You can stay wherever you are, just hire a driver and just drive around, or if you're brave enough, get a scooter yourself. I'm just gonna show you my surrounding, and then I'm gonna keep telling you a little bit about me being here and the last couple of weeks. So uh, this time I have a whole flat for myself, so I do also have a kitchen. But this is the stunning garden from my terrace. With down there is the pool, and there are some amazing trees in here. It is fairly warm and humid today. It's nice in the shadow. It's too hot in the sun, at least for me. So you can see my huge room. Like, that's the biggest room I have been in since I've been in Bali, just simply by myself. And it reminds me a bit of a like Viking hall, grand Viking hall, or upside down ship, because the ceiling is so high. It's almost like echoey in here. And there is so much storage in this flat. And I have a water canister here because you should only drink distilled water, so water that has been boiled. Actually, you should only use that distilled water for anything that you will consume. So far, I have a problem with washing dishes with it. I don't know really how to fully do that, but yeah, that's my kitchen. I have just a few dishes and cutleries. Some things are missing. And I had my friend Rini, who's a yoga teacher and who I've met last year in Bali. I've had her over today visiting me and offering me a yoga class. My mum had joined as well. And she also brought me some dragon fruit. Have you ever had dragon fruit? Let me show you. I have made a little video with the dragon fruit of like cutting it and how it looks inside if you have never had it. So this is the dragon fruit, and she brought me three of them. They have so much more flavor over here, and over here they are pink inside instead of white. So I have a dragon fruit here. Some of you may know this one, but you may know it being white inside. So that's roughly the size. I don't have a cutting board, so I need to use my cardboard here. But I just wanted to show you how beautiful it is. So that's the inside. It's gorgeous. The thing is, like, you can dye your fingers with it. Just gonna make another slice here. Like, wow, that's my favorite part. Just like pulling the skin off and having like this here, this super flashy pink ball. So inside, and you can eat the seeds there. They're very soft. Beautiful, right? I think we in the West mainly get the white ones. And about the bathroom, here you have a, I call them butt shower. They're sort of like bidets. So you have the shower for your butt, and then when you use the toilet, you actually throw it into the bin and never into the toilet. Just some little tweaks and quirks. Also, if you want to know, it's a European plaque that you need here in Indonesia. It's funny, like those three women, and then we were three women this morning doing yoga just right here. It was working out well. An sign up there. Such a cool place. Okay, well, let's get back into the place. I want to unlock my screen. Yeah, so those of you who have listened to my previous podcast may remember that I actually traveled to Bali with my partner Tom, and he stayed with me for 2 weeks. And unfortunately, he had to go home and make some more money because we have to fix the van and we have to fix the car. And I was very fortunate last year that I was able to give sewing workshops, and through those sewing workshops, which were funded, I earned a good amount of money that I can afford to stay this time in Bali for 5 weeks, which is, yeah, it's hard to grasp even that I have so much time, and I'm constantly worrying like, how much time do I have left? Where can I go with this time? I don't want to miss out. Um, well, I think I miss out a lot of times to just be where I am and enjoy what I have, and trying to remind myself constantly to do so. But yeah, so Tom has left me on the 1st of April, and on the 2nd of April, my mother and her partner arrived in Denpasar and joined me in Ubud on the 4th of April, and they traveled with me, as I've mentioned, now up here to Lovina. They have never been, no, sorry, she has never been to Bali. He has, but I think it's 10 years ago and quite short. So I think a lot has changed. I haven't seen too much of Lovina. I have been in Lovina even last year when I was in Bali, but I had been at a retreat and they had quite a tight schedule. And so we were either at the retreat doing things there, or they had driven us to other places in around this area, but not necessarily in Lovina. So yeah, we have been. I've been in a restaurant last year And I've also been to a dolphin tour and snorkeling, and that was from the retreat, all organized. And yeah, this time we arrived here yesterday, late afternoon, and I've been to a Vietnam restaurant and it was very delicious. And then I've walked to the beach. I just got my smoothie to take away because I knew that it was sunset time and I had been hoping that I could see the sunset in the water, and I was so lucky. If I know how to manage it, I will insert some footage here. Again, you can find that on my WhatsApp channel. It was so stunning. Like the sky was at the west end, sort of melting, northwest end, sort of melting with the water in the same blue, while on sorry no on the east end, northeast end, and the northwest end, it was this really bright pink and purple and orange, and it yeah, like it dyed the water, like it just looked so silvery, but in the same time also the reflection of the sunset. And yeah, it was so stunning and it was still warm. And when I went in with my feet, it was bathtub temperature, and I just couldn't resist, even though I didn't have my bathing suit with me. I just went in with my underwear and it was gorgeous. I felt really, really good. And after that, I just sat at the beach for a little bit and listened to some music. I had some, um, I don't know if they were from Bali. There were Indonesian women with a lot of little boys running around them. I don't know if they were their brothers. I think and I hope so, because those women were more like kids, at least in my eyes. They looked like they're more like 16, 17. So I'm just really hoping they were their sisters. But they were, what is this, Islamic. So they had um, the scarves on, and I had them coming up to me and asking me if they could take pictures with me, which I only had experienced before in India, and it's still so weird and fascinating to me because I would never go up to a person I have no connection at all and take a picture with them, because like what do I do later on with this picture? I will likely not look at it again, but they will show it to friends of like, hey, I've met this white person at the beach and I've taken a picture. And I didn't even have my hair down because I know like, okay, this hair can attract people, but it was already quite dark and I had my hair up. But I think A, I'm white, and B, I have a lot of piercings. So yeah, that was interesting. Sadly, on my way home, so trying to explain this as best as I can, their sidewalks, pedestrian sidewalks, when you come to a junction. Like, well, I'm really sorry about that. I think my camera absolutely overheated. So it did cut out. But I was telling you about the pavements here, and so you have a drive, the pavement obviously stops, but then before the pavement starts, you will maybe have a 50 by 50 centimeter gap, um, which is a hole that goes really, really deep. I don't know what actually, if it's like proper sewage. I don't think it's proper sewage that flows beneath it, but the pavement starts after that. And usually I have a really good lookout and awareness. But yesterday I was looking to the drive to the right, checking that this wasn't the drive that I have to go to get to my accommodation. And a car came from the left, wanted to go into the drive. And I thought I'm going to rush to let them pass. And it was already pretty dark. And yeah, I just ended up in this hole really like up to here. So they are pretty deep. I'm glad I'm not a small person. And the car had stopped and looked if I would crawl out of this hole myself, which I eventually did. And then they just drove off without getting out, without asking if I'm fine. And it was a bit disappointing because I experienced the Balinesian people to be super friendly. Obviously, I don't know if there were only Balinesian people in the car. It could have been a rental car. And I have hit my shin really badly. And yeah, I was in a lot of pain. And sort of luckily, there was a pharmacy almost next door, and I went to the pharmacy. Sadly, again, there, the staff working there, I felt they were a bit more like, this is not really our business. This is not what we are trained or what we want to do. So, yeah, we help you, but like quite reluctant. And I was just sitting there trying to hold my tears back. That wanted to come because of the pain that I had and still have in my leg, which is pretty swollen where I hit it. And yeah, that was also very unfortunate because I knew that not only do I want to go swimming in the sea here, and I'm now nervous that I would get any bacteria in this wound if I go into the sea, say like today. um as well as like I wanted to do the yoga with my friend, which I did, and it did work. But there were a couple of things that weren't possible for me today. And yeah, like trying to think if or when I've ever hurt myself before on travel. I don't think I can really remember. I remember once certainly being in California and having really bad toothache, and I had to go to the dentist there, and it did cost me a lot of money. But I don't think I've actually ever really injured myself on holidays. Fingers crossed, or pressing a thumb, as we Germans say, that it will also never happen. And in general, I think I'm really lucky that I've never broken anything, as far as I know. I have maybe dislocated some things, and that's also really painful, but I'm not super sure about this because I'm not one to quickly go to the doctors. I'm more like, well, it just hurts, but I know my body will heal itself, and I don't know what the doctor is supposed to do there now. It's not broken, and yeah, that's my story of hurting myself yesterday pretty badly. I'm sure I will be fine. As you can see, I can smile about it. Um, and I kind of almost wish I would have seen that from the outside, of just me walking there and being gone. Must have looked so funny. Scary, but funny. And yeah, like no part of me was actually in the water. Like I think one or like my little toe dipped some water, and I had shoes on, and they were not too dirty. So I think bacteria wise, I'm fine. And then I limped back home. Luckily, again, not too far, but I just had really wished that someone would stop with the scooter and would just scoop me up and drive me down this drive. That would have been amazing. Not the case, but that's what it is. Yeah, so far my time in Bali has been really nice. I just need to be a bit more aware that I do have time I don't need to stress to see and do um, too much, and that I also don't spend too much time on my phone to figure out like where to go next, where to stay, where do I find a restaurant that is suitable for my needs, and all the activities that I can do. Sorry about all those background noises. I hope you will enjoy them and that you will not find them annoying. I know there's a lot of birds around here today. No geckos. I had some wild experiences at my last accommodation, but I've just recorded that podcast and had sent it out. So if you missed that, please go back to it because there is a really funny reptile in it. And by funny, I just mean sound wise funny. I was not amused in the night, but it sounds really funny. Yeah, so I think, as I said, I'm just going to keep this a little bit shorter and not so deep, just more like an update. So I'm getting also a bit more used to speaking in front of the camera. And I hope you enjoy this little podcast with video. And now I'm going to figure out how to edit it because I've edited videos for YouTube before on the computer. Now I have to add everything on my phone because I didn't bring a laptop or anything that would have extended definitely my luggage, and the only laptop that I have is extra big screen, so I'm happy to watch movies and TV shows in the van because I obviously don't have a TV there. Okay, chatted enough. Hope you enjoyed, as I said. If you did, please give it a rating and maybe share it with friends. And subscribe if you don't want to miss out. Thank you. I will see you next time. Bye.